Coming to you live from somewhere around the world. It's the one, the only, the man who's a bit silly, and the man who will make the next minutes of your life beautiful.
It's your boy. It's your boy Amreezy, one of the greatest intros on YouTube.
It's your boy.
It's your boy.
It's your boy.
It's your boy. It's your boy.
It's your boy.
It's your boy, Amreezy, and I'm back with another Road to Sorare Boss episode where we follow my journey in the wonderful world of Sorare. Yes, that was you, Zuta, in the intro. Big up Zuta for making me laugh so much while I was just about to start the show. So I can't highlight the chat message, but go see it. It's at the beginning, the very first message before I activated the chat highlighting software. As you know, I like to say other time zones are available when I give you the time of the show start, which is 6:30 UK time. Other time zones are available. But Zuta wrote, other time zone greetings are available after he said good evening or good morning, something like that. So well done, Zuta. You got me going. You got me in the mood. I'm ready. I'm like a fighter. I'm like someone like this, doing this. One of them. Kerry, how are you? How was midweek, Kerry? How was midweek, Kerry? How was your Sorare midweek? Are you the richest man in town? Are you £2,500? You're not actually, because I saw the winning lineup in the Champions League this week and wasn't me or you, I'm afraid. Unpopular comment on commenting, start the intro 5 minutes earlier. I think it might be too long. I think it might need to be 2.5 minutes. I don't know. I'm still undecided about the timer. And also those intro clips. There might be a few more additions coming as we have guests on next Monday's Sorare show. I've got my dear friend Hernduzi coming on. So we're going to start to have some guests in the Sorare shows as well. So funny moments will happen. Great moments will happen that will go in the intro eventually. So the intro, I like to think, is an organic thing that will keep changing. This is the first week we've had it. It'll keep changing. I'll keep adding things, taking away things. But yeah. Day 4 of the intro, and I'm still enjoying it. It still does get me pumped, especially when the bombs start dropping and I keep hearing people saying it's your boy. It's working for me. Pour from me, Union SG boys did me proud, but wasn't enough for any essence. That was me, and that was the problem. Let's go straight to it. That was the problem with, everyone always says, I'm going to start with a bit of a controversial take, shall I say. I don't know if I'm pro subs or anti subs. Okay, I don't know if I'm pro subs or anti subs. That's what I'm gonna start saying. I don't have a strong opinion either way, but we did get a glimpse of what it would be like maybe in a subless world where you could do subs with the Champions League deadline flexible. So we all saw the Champions League starting lineups, and we all had a flexible deadline right up until kickoff to get our Champions League teams right, and it was so competitive because there was less DMPs. So I built like some good lineups, but they did terrible because it was so competitive. And that's what it will be like if Sorare introduced subs. So all of those people screaming for subs, if you've not got Mbappe and Lamal and Pedri and those kinds of players, it might be even harder for us because those DMP, and that's what I'm saying. I know subs is fine. Maybe one sub would be fair. All I'm saying is the Champions League deadline being flexible gave us a glimpse of what life on Sorare would be like if it wasn't so like how it is like usually, where the deadline's on a Thursday for Saturday games. You've got no idea who's actually going to play. So hot take there. Hot take there. It was tricky because everybody had no DMPs in their lineups. And so you needed like the top Champions League winning lineup this week was bonkers. Right, here are my lineups. We're starting with this. Is that a treat? Zuta, what a treat? I've forgotten what I said. I probably said something, and your comment makes perfect sense if I'd have read that in time. But I've turned up late, like Frank Lampard arriving late into the penalty area. I've arrived late at that comment. So yeah, these were my lineups from midweek. That seems like a good place to start. This is how I did in the Champions League. So Chelsea beat Napoli. Wait. Chelsea beat Napoli. And the Jose Mourinho gift's very appropriate because he had a lovely old time on Wednesday. But Chelsea beat Napoli, but the defense didn't keep a clean sheet. They conceded 2 goals. Oh, threat. Okay. You're saying some things may get removed, Zuter, but I've got a feeling old Zuti's gonna be sticking around. Don't worry, you're going nowhere, Zuter. Kind of agree, but all the smashers also smashed. Yeah, that's true. That's true for the people, I think, who are gonna go for the podium places. I think podium places probably don't look any different because they were like Mbappe, Yamal, those kind of players. But I think like this lineup here, 365, maybe would have got 1,000 essence on a normal Champions League midweek. But because it was so competitive, it didn't do that well. This one here, this one here, 424 points. On a normal Champions League week, this particular lineup would have done better. Now, it's really annoying. Liverpool won 6-0, and Cody Gakpo, 0 goal involvements. Played 70-odd minutes, 0 goal involvements from Cody Gakpo. Cody Gakpo already looking like a bad move for me, especially because I swapped him for an Anthony Semenyo. Looking like bad business there. Looking like terrible business there. Julian Alvarez couldn't score a goal against Bodo Glimt. Now, no offense to Bodo Glimt fans. I'm sorry if you're a Bodo Glimt fan, okay? But Atletico Madrid, with Julian Alvarez up front, should be scoring more than 1 goal. And that is not fun. So these two let me down, and I could have done better. But what I'm saying is, this lineup would have done, like, wouldn't have been 3,300 with if it wasn't a flexible deadline. So that was a hot take. And then the Chelsea lineups didn't do well because the defense conceded 2 goals. So all of these defenders did bad. Enzo Fernandez did good. It was good for me to play him as the classic card. I was debating that last week. João Pedro's season is upon us. He's now scored, I think, in his last 3 games in a row. So, you know, João Pedro looking like a good pickup from early access. What was that? £80 spent early access? But he's finally come good. He's finally coming good in Sorare. And then this lineup, you know, Villarreal lost 3-0. So this lineup, with any of these lineups with Villarreal cards, bum rubbish. Absolute bum rubbish. Anthony Gordon didn't start against PSG. Bum rubbish. Cole Palmer came off the bench and got 2 assists, which is encouraging news as a Chelsea fan. However, I didn't play him with it because I knew he wasn't going to start. I didn't put him with, like, I should have played him in probably a better lineup, but hey-ho. Should have played him instead of Gakpo in this lineup, probably. But you live and you learn. And if that's one thing we're doing here at the channel, it's learning. Jens Peter Haig and Kasper Hogue showing their true qualities in the CL this year. Yeah, I kind of wish I'd gone for a few other Champions League teams because I've only got Spurs and Chelsea, really. And Villarreal. I wish I'd kind of gone for a couple of more left field picks so I could be enjoying players like that. So if you have them, congratulations. So yeah, nothing to report from the Champions League for me. 500 XP here, 500 XP here. And then we had a classic lineup. Which one did well? Again, yeah, like there was some good things, like Rafinha scored, but then everybody else did pretty much average. Lewandowski scored in this one. Everyone else did average. Welcome to the average show, featuring your boy Amreezy. Oh no, wait, this is the good one. What was this? This was Champions League Classic. This was the good lineup in under 23. Can you believe it, ladies and gentlemen? Can you believe it? My best lineup from the Champions League midweek was under 23. A lineup I never take seriously. I never take the under 23 serious. And it's because I captained Cole Palmer. Stop celebrating, Mourinho. Get off screen. Get off screen. It's because I put Palmer in here and captained him, and he did well. Forbes, Lopez, 3 players did well, and that was enough for a promotion and 250 essence, which, considering this was a throwaway lineup, where I was just like, I can't fit any of these guys in my teams. I didn't fancy Monaco's chances against Juventus. I didn't think Palmer would play. I didn't think Furman would play. It's not bad. We'll take it. We'll take it. Wait, stop celebrating, Amreezy. There's still one more game, right? We're not finished. There's still Thursday's games to go. How do I see? There used to be a bit where it showed you the percentage of games left. Here we go. Oh, I'm not going to get anything. There's still 49% of games to play. Wait. There's still 39% of games to play. Quick math. No, I'm not going to get any essence here, am I? That's going to drop. Hager normally carries me in the summer months. Nice, nice. Is there much truth? Nah, there's no truth in it. I think if there was some truth, the Liam Rossignol wouldn't have been so aggressive in his pre-match conferences saying like Palmer's happy, Palmer's going nowhere, there's no way he's leaving. I think if there was some truth in it, he would have just gone no comment. He's a Chelsea player, I'm not going to say anything else. But because he's been so like Cole Palmer loves it here, he's going nowhere, he's delighted to be here, he loves it. I just feel like it's so much, the manager's gone out so far out of his way to reassure Palmer will be staying. He wouldn't have done that if the board had told him, well, listen, we're going to sell him. Now's a great time to cash in on him. I think he's not leaving, at least not for a season or two. I think possibly if he has a really good World Cup, if he smashes it for England in the World Cup and Real Madrid and like PSG start going, here's, you know, $300 million, here's like a crazy amount of money, maybe he'd leave. But I just think he's got like a 20-year contract at Chelsea. Seems pretty happy with all the players. He's a pretty useful cog. And you know, some of the rumors are silly. Some of the rumors are like he's going to go to Manchester United. Now, no offense to Manchester United, but why would he want to leave Chelsea for Manchester United like right now? Maybe 10 years ago, sure. Maybe in 2 years. But right now, if that's the strongest rumor, second Cole Palmer point is, can you imagine Cole Palmer speaking Spanish? Can you imagine Cole Palmer speaking French? Can you imagine him speaking Italian? I just can't imagine him really doing that. And football's changed a little bit recently. You really need to learn the language to play in Spain. A few years ago, maybe 10 years ago, when like Steve McManaman and David Beckham were playing in Spain, they were able to get away with speaking in English and having translators, but the culture's changed in these countries. You really have to speak the language now. Like Trent Alexander-Arnold had to learn Spanish for like a year before he went to Real Madrid. So he knew it's part of the agreement. But when you go to these Real Madrid clubs now, you need to have a basic Spanish, Italian, French. So I just can't imagine Cole Palmer being appealed by living in Madrid. I just see him as a kind of like, he's happy where he is. He's head down, work hard, and like just play football. He just wants to play football. And if he goes to somewhere like Real Madrid or somewhere else, I just think it might not work out. You know, he's at Chelsea, he's a star. If he goes to Real Madrid, it's a risk. Like we've seen so many players fail at those kind of level clubs because they're just not the star anymore. Man United are above Chelsea. Yeah, fair play, Kerry. But who's playing Champions League football right now? That's all I'm saying. But yep, I'll take that point. I'll take that point on board. Fair play. You got me there. Fair play. Right, where were we? So at under 23 is it okay? And then All Star. Oh, look at this quality All Star. Wait, we've still got 3 players to play. Dynamo Zagreb are playing today. My first outing of my Dynamo Zagreb cards. So maybe this All Star lineup at least doesn't get relegated. And we can stay in Division 1 All-Star. Because captaincy didn't quite work out this week, did it, guys? Captaincy didn't quite go to plan. Carlos Miguel does have a 30 score in him. He'll do that. He'll absolutely do that. He'll absolutely hurt you now and again. But like, look here, 34, but then 82, but then 31, but then amazing scores, but then 39 and 28. So he'll either give you a fantastic score or a bum rubbish score. And that was absolute bum rubbish. So that's my midweek lineups done. I don't need to review the weekend because I reviewed that on Monday. Well done, Amreezy. Well done, Amreezy, for having 2 shows a week now. It's all right. Well done, Amreezy, for having 2 weeks a show. 2 days a show. Forget it. You know what I mean. So I've already reviewed my weekend. If you've not seen how that went, go and check out Monday's video where I show you how I did at the weekend, which was not that great, to be honest. But Livakovic is on his way back to Zagreb. Are you kidding me, Sakari? That's going to ruin... Oh, wait, that's not going to ruin stuff. I thought I had the Zagreb goalkeeper, but I don't. I have the Schalke goalkeeper, who is... Come on, Amreezy. Who did you just buy in goal? The former Liverpool Karius. I got it before Sorare told me. Karius. Okay, I've got... Karius is my in-season goalkeeper. But Livakovic doesn't sound too bad. I'll keep my eye on him. How much were the Livakovic. Oh, we're gonna get to this. We're gonna get to whatever this winter stuff. I've not been reading and researching much about this winter set thing, so I'll get to that. I've also got to tell you about how I beat a Sorare trade bot. That's the hot topic for today's video. Livakovic. I know Hernduzi's got a Livakovic. I might try and steal his. So you can get a classic for £6.36. And you can get his in-season from Girona for £11. Obviously, the price is a bit high right now with the transfer rumours, I guess. So this is one for me to keep an eye on. I want to see price activity. I want to see sales history, please. Last month of Livakovic, we were in-season. We were hovering around about £10, down to £5, up to £10, a little bit over £10. And then because of the transfer news, we've had a little spike here. So now's a bad time to buy a Livakovic unless you're convinced he's going to be amazing for Zagreb, which I think he will. He'll be playing in an easier league for top of the table team. I'll just give it a week or two now because I've got an in-season goalkeeper. I'm not in a rush, but I do have a lot of Zagreb cards. I've got 2. I've got 3 if you include my Barcelona Classic, whatever he's called. Right. But solid news from Kerry as always. The Fabrizio Romano to the Amreezy channel. Kerry Harrison, aka Fabrizio. If you rearrange the letters of Kerry Harrison, you get Fabrizio Romano. That's just facts. Right. I've shown you how I did midweek. Let's take a look at my one new card that I bought in from since Thursday's video. If I can just concentrate here. Mateus Cunha is the one. So here you can see last cards I bought. This is my in-season contender in-season strategy. I bought these 4 cards with a 5th classic card from Zagreb that I have to play in season. So we'll test that out this weekend. I've not built my lineups yet. We'll do that live in today's video for the weekend. But the Cunha card I bought, let me explain how I like to trade on Sorare. And this might be a bit of useful tips, especially for beginners who've never played Sorare. So basically, sorry if you've played Sorare a lot and this is like, you don't need to hear this right now. But there's these bots on Sorare, like Satonio, like Basil bot, like, a few others. And Satonio seems to be the guy I go to a lot recently when I want a card and I have cards I don't really want to use anymore. I go to him, I offer him my card, and then if the floor price is about the same, I'm happy to swap the cards. Usually the bot will want a bit more than what they're worth floor price, but usually you're okay to pay that because you're like, I'm not going to be able to sell him on the secondhand market. At least the bot will take him for a tiny bit less than he's worth. And then I just keep testing loads of different cards, loads of different options until I get a deal I'm happy with. And then that usually involves football knowledge. Like that usually goes, yes, I know his floor price is X, but I think he's about to go on a crazy run of form. Or I think he's at the peak of his form and he's going to have a dip now. Or his fixtures have turned. He's going to have really hard fixtures. Best to trade him now while he's got a good floor price before his floor price drops after these 4 or 3 tricky games. So with Cunha, what happened was Dorgu has been playing for Manchester United on the left wing, kind of ahead of Cunha. Cunha's come off the bench the last 2 games, but he scored off the bench those last 2 games. And then Dorgu's got injured they're saying it could be months. They're saying it could be a bad injury, which means Cunha is going to be playing surely left wing, where he was playing at Wolves, instead of Dorgu. And he's in good form and scored a couple of goals. So what happened was, his price was going all over the place. His floor price was at £18 when I traded him. But what was happening is so many people were making deals. I think it was confusing the bots. They didn't know what his correct floor price was. And whenever that happens, whenever there's a player that's transferring, whenever there's a player that has just hit a good run of form or a bad run of form, I always try to do some trades to try and confuse the bots. So here's what I did. I had a William Saliba, which I do not want. I've not wanted this William Saliba for ages. Ever since I bought William Saliba, I've been like, horrible. Horrible. I wish I didn't have this Saliba. His scores have been average all season. Look at his L15, 46. Like, it's been terrible. Because I had a Gabriel, I thought Arsenal's defence at the beginning of the season was so good It made sense to go for 2 Arsenal defenders. The mistake I made was getting Saliba instead of Timber or Calafiori, or probably those two. And then Calafiori's been injured, so Timber was probably the one I should have gone for. But I traded the Saliba with Satonio, funnily enough. So Satonio's got him back now. So at the time, Saliba was worth £11. Cunha was worth £18.50. That was when I did the trade, okay? And I was like, you know what? I just want to see how much Saliba's worth. I just want to see how much he'll take Saliba for. So what I did was I was like, Saliba, and then I just put a random amount of money. I just was like, £4. He's not going to accept this because £4 plus my £11 Saliba is equal to £15, and Cunha's going for like 18 something right now. So I expected a counter offer where he'd be like, I'll take the Saliba, but I value Saliba way less, and you got to pay me like £7 or £8. And I probably would have paid that because I'm really upbeat about Cunha right now. He just accepted it. I think he was confused. I think because of the Cunha's floor price was going all over the place because everybody started trading him and buying him. He just accepted it. I don't know why, but that's my free tip. Today's video. Play around with the trade bots, especially if you're new, especially if you've got cards like Saliba who are in season and have a bit of floor worth, but you're not getting much worth from him. It's a no-brainer for me to trade cards you don't really want anymore, plus a bit of cash, for a card that you're really upbeat on and you think he's going to do better than his floor price. So I think in 2 weeks' time, Cunha's floor price will be like £25 at least. So I think it's a great deal. And Kerry agrees. Kerry thinks that's a cracking deal as well. If Fabrizio Romano of the Amreezy channel agrees, who are we to disagree? Best Zagreb defender to pair with him. Well, like I said, so that's the Cunha trade lesson done for today. My Zagreb defender, Kerry, is the boy from Barcelona who I've got. I keep forgetting his name. Sergi Dominguez, I think, is the best defender to pair with the goalkeeper. That's the best one. Sergi Dominguez. He scores just bonkers scores. And I'm looking for, I've been playing him in All-Star this season, and I feel like I've wasted him in All-Star. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to go into Contender in season, because it means I can use this guy in a more cash-winning league. Like, he's had a few dips lately, but that's because he's had a few injuries. But like his last 3 scores are pretty decent. And then at the beginning of the season, he's putting up some big scores. So on his day, when they've got a nice fixture, Sergi Dominguez is a glorious player to pick. I am also looking at... who else? I'm looking at another Zagreb defender because I'm thinking I might want to double up on games when they have like an easy fixture. So these are our options. I think it's this guy, Galicic, because he's young. Yeah, this guy, because he's 24. I like the fact that I've got quite a lot of usage out of him. Again, he's had a big DMP period at the beginning of the season, but he's come back and his scores are quite good. Scores are all right. Had a few good scores at the end of last season, and he's 24. I quite like that. The other options would be McKenna, if you wanted the kind of centre-back pairing. Scott McKenna is 29 years old, a little bit older, and scores aren't as great for me. Too many scores where he needs decisive to give you a good score. So that kind of puts me off Scott McKenna. And he's 29, and the other guy's 24. And then the other boy looks like Matteo Vinloff, who, if Sorare would like to hurry up here, please, who is 20. Ooh, but then like he's not projected to play the next 2 games. I don't know why. And he was substitute. I'd love a Zagreb fan to watch one of my videos. If anyone knows anything about Dynamo Zagreb and you're watching this video like whenever you watch it, get in the comments and let me know more about Dynamo Zagreb. Let me know who I should be getting for a kind of 5-man stack. At the moment, I've got the left winger Hoxha, and I've got the CDM Misic. I've got these 2, and they had bad games in the last game, but they're quite good scorers usually. So let me know. I'm eyeing up this Belho guy, but his price is bonkers at the moment because he scored like in 4 games in a row. I'm also eyeing up the defenders I just told you about, and now thanks to Kerry, I'm also eyeing up a Livakovic goalkeeper card. So let me know, guys, and also let me know, will Livakovic definitely be first team? Is he going to take out... Why is this guy not going to play anymore? What's going to happen to Ivan Flipovic? Is he just going to be a bench goalkeeper? Maybe, because he was probably a bench goalkeeper here. Yeah, all of these bench... He used to be the bench goalkeeper. What happened? Who was the number one goalkeeper in this at the beginning of the season? Because surely Livakovic wasn't there at the beginning. So that's my Dynamo Zagreb questions for any Croatians or veterans of the Croatian League on Sorare. So that's my one new card. It's been fairly quiet for me trading wise. Shall we talk about this new Sorare free to play mode called Sorare Winter Sets? First of all, first question, is it going to be here all year now? Is it the rest of the season? Or is it only going to be till like February or March when winter finishes? Because it's called winter. So is it only a temporary thing they're doing? And then secondly, the thing that I'm really annoyed about Sorare right now is all of the common cards before, all of these common cards that I've been collecting, legacy set they're now calling them, right? I've been collecting all of these legacy set cards. I've completed 2 or 3 team collections. All right, it's a 2-month thing, Kerry. Okay, that's cool. But the thing I'm annoyed about is where have the missions gone for the normal cards? Because I'm like 1 away from completing so many collections, and my whole aim with this was I want to complete collections, get those $5 market credits every time, and then I've done it with like 2 or 3 teams, and I've got the $5 market credits. It's been useful. It helped me buy those contender in season cards, but now they've just gone. The missions for collecting cards here, collections, they've all gone. So that's not fair. I wanted to buy some more cards and I wanted market credits to obviously buy them. And my strategy was, I've been going all out on common, doing it every day. They've all gone, Kerry. That's not fair. Did we get some notice? Did Sorare give people notice that they were going to go? Did I just not read that? Because I've not really been paying attention to the winter set stuff because I've seen that it's free to play. So I just assumed it wasn't going to be that fun. Jonathan, welcome to the chat, Jonathan. Good to chat with you, Jonathan. I don't think we've I don't recognize your name, so I appreciate you joining in the chat. I was thinking the same thing with my free collections. I was so close. It's really annoying because I think I've done it pretty much as best as I can. I've done it every single day. I've opened up packs. Every single day, I've done the missions, spun the wheel as many times as I can, bought packs, and I get rid of all my duplicates so that I've got like a really, I'm doing it properly. I'm playing the leagues to win essence. And then and my whole thinking was, the only reason I'm doing this is because I want those market credits when I've completed teams collections. If they weren't there, I wouldn't have played common this year. I wouldn't have touched common. Why would I? You don't win anything. But I figured market credits is at least something that you can get for free. And then if I complete loads of collections, like I'm so close. I'm so close with those common collections. I've got so many. They did tell us it was finishing last night. Not enough time. Not enough time. New accounts used to use Johnny Gunning. Ah, okay. I got it. You can still complete your collection. Yeah, but I don't want to complete the collection if there's no prize, Manito. That's my problem. Do you think I'll still get a $5 market credits if I complete a collection? I don't think so. I think, yeah, I can complete the collection. But I don't want to complete the collection just for the sake of it. I only wanted to complete the collection for the market credits. So that was frustrating. I'm not going to lie. Buy legacy packs. Yeah, but where do we go? Legacy. These are my legacy sets. I'm 99% complete in the Premier League. I'm 99% complete in the Premier League. Look at all my lineups. Are you kidding me, Sorare? I'm not going to get $5 market credits. The only reason I built these was for $5 market credits. I've only got, these teams are like one more. I need one more card from Leeds United for $5 market credits. I need one more card from Fulham for my $5 market credits. So it feels a bit like I've done the Everton collection. I've done the Everton one because there's less players in that one. But apparently I'm 99% done on the Premier League. I need one more Nottingham Forest card, one more Wolves card, 3 more Chelsea cards. Like, and I've been doing all 4 leagues. This is just the Premier League. Has Amreezy dropped a clanger here? I think I've wasted about half an hour of my every single day. French League, 92% complete on the French League. All right, Bundesliga, fair play. 85% complete on Bundesliga. Wasn't probably going to hit those. La Liga, 89%. There's some La Liga teams, like this one. La Liga team. Here we go. La Liga. I'm 1 card away from completing another La Liga collection. 2 Espanol cards. Should have completed them quicker, mate. You, in a way, Zuta, you're very right. But here's my hot take. I think I've been doing it. I think there's lots of people that have been doing it at my speed, because I've been doing it every day. Like I could have gone a little bit quicker, maybe, if I'd have spent cash, maybe if I don't know. But I've been spending essence as soon as I get it. I've not been hoarding it. So I think they know loads of managers like me are on the verge of completing so many collections, and they've changed the rules, given us the winter set, taken away all the missions, because I can't be the only one that's like that. Jonathan in the chat just said, Big Johnny Gunning. Johnny Gunning's in the same boat as me. And then last night they tell us that those missions are going to disappear. I reckon there's loads of managers like me that were like almost going to get $5 credits loads of times, and they've gone, you know what? Winter set's here. So what can I do? What can I do? I feel like I've wasted a lot of time there, but I've learnt my lesson. And next season, I will not be taking the common mode as seriously. Common mode's a joke. Wait, the new winter set thing could be quite fun. Common mode before was a joke. If this is going to happen next year, I'm not going to do any common. I'm just going to wait for winter when they do the winter set thing. Because the winter set thing does seem cool. I'm not against the winter set thing. My only problem is they took away the rewards for the other thing. When the winter, that's interesting, Manito. When the winter set finishes? Yeah, that's a great question. That's a great question. I would hope, and I would forgive Sorare for everything, if the collections come back after winter set. If we can then get the $5 market credits after, and maybe we can save them up for the World Cup cards, maybe that will ease my pain, and I can just focus on winter set for now, and then I can do Sorare common after winter set goes. I don't know, guys. What do you think? Let me know in the comments if you're watching this later. If you've got any more intel, will those $5 prizes... I know it's not much, but it's literally the only reason why I was playing common. I don't care about doing it for fun. I wasn't playing common for fun. I was doing it for a monetary gift. And also, we are stuck with even more. I know it's like, and I know now we've got started. I don't know how you guys felt when you opened your first winter pack, but when you saw like the cards going into empty sticker albums, like your Brighton card going into an empty Brighton collection, I was just so like, ugh, because a little part of me thought maybe the winter cards can fill the common gallery. That would have been nice if the winter cards could be like, you could have 2, as if it was like a limited card. That would have been nice, but no, we've got separate galleries to fill now with these stupid winter cards. Ugh, I'm not going to try and fill any of these winter collections. There are rewards in the sets mission, I believe. Yeah, I think I accidentally completed some of those missions. Like I've not gone out of my way to complete them, but I was like, you collected 3 players from 1 Premier League club. Here's 200 winter essence. Also a bit annoying that we have a new type of essence. Couldn't the winter essence... Now, I don't usually complain about Sorare. Don't worry. I'm not going to rant. This is it. This is the end of the rant. But couldn't the essence be the same as the common essence that we've been saving up? Like, now we've got frozen common essence. Couldn't they have at least used the same essence? That would have also helped. If managers complain, maybe they will help the return. Yeah, okay, Minito. That's a good point. Let's complain more. I'm not sorry for ranting. You're welcome, guys. If we all write strongly worded emails to Sorare, maybe we'll get our $5 credits back. So I have opened a few winter packs. I don't know if you guys have. I don't know what you guys are doing with your winter essence, if you're saving it, if you're spending it, but I bought a few random packs, only Premier League cards, because I figured that's the league I know the most, so let's start there. And then I did the first level of a, what is it, set? I did the first level, I think they call it. So now I'm on level 2. So here we go. I've got some stuff to claim here. More winter essence. So I've been claiming these missions. I've opened a few packs. You should be able to win limited essence with streaks. Yeah, that's what I like about the winter set. I actually do like the winter set thing. And I would like this. If this could be the common mode all the time next season, that would be amazing. It'd be fun if they tested it out with winter and then next year this was just what common mode was. I'd be on board. Because you can win. I just like seeing you can actually win cash here. I know it'll be really hard, but at least it's free to play and there's a proper prize on the line. So I did the first level where you had to enter your past scores and all my players easily did that. And now we're on level 2. Now here's what I'm wondering with this. You should be able to win limited essence. I'm going to try and save all my essence and try and craft MLS cards. Kerry, I like that thinking. I like that thinking. I might do it and save my cards for K-League because K-League's the one I want to play with this when K-League's back. I need Sun. Zuta, get Sun. Sun's very important. Go and get your Sun. Open the curtain, Zuta. I hope you're not sat in your room in the dark. Okay, so this is the lineup that I've built. Now, here's my question, guys. I've put 2 Nottingham Forest cards that are playing today. And then I've got these 3 guys that are playing at the weekend. Does it make sense to play 2 guys who are playing on... No, I don't think it does. Because they're definitely playing today. The team lineups seem to have come out. So I was thinking if these guys are 50-50, should I risk these guys playing in Europe? Or, because I don't really have a good goalkeeper. I've got Matt Sells and Kelleher. They're the only 2 playing goalkeepers. And Kelleher has Aston Villa away at the weekend. So I guess it makes sense to go for the Nottingham Forest. Playing at home in Europe against Ferencvárosi. So sorry. So sorry to anybody who knows how to pronounce that. But I've got some good cards already, I think. I've not got a good goalkeeper or a defender, but I think I might get away with this one game week because they've got a nice game in Europe at home. And then these 3 guys are fairly smashers, they're fairly fixture proof. I'm all in on Cunha. I've got Cunha Classic, Cunha now in season, Cunha Winter set. I am Cunha's biggest fanboy right now. So if he fails, that's the end of the channel. No. So we need to hit 240 with this. I think we look good. I think we look good. There we go. We're claiming some more winter essence. Look at this. We're claiming winter essence for fun. It just keeps appearing, these completed missions. Right. I've spent longer on that than I thought I would. So we're going to finish this week's video. I say finish. This bit's going to take ages. This bit's going to take half an hour to 45 minutes. So let's build my lineups for the weekend. Bum, 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 bum. I need some I need a transition. I need some music. I need something to kind of like... I miss my... That's what one good thing. I had a transition on when I did the pre-records. Are you able to edit your team for the guys that play at the weekend? Great question, Kerry. Let's go back. I didn't check that, did I? You can edit your lineup. Yeah, you can't... Can you take out the defender, for example? Yeah, you can edit it. You can even edit the Nottingham Forest players that are about to start their game in 45 minutes. So, yes, you can still edit it, which is nice. That is nice. I wonder when the deadline is. It would be nice if the deadline was right before kickoff, because it'll make it easier to hit those targets if we've got a deadline right before kickoff. It might be a way that Sorare are testing rolling locks. It might possibly be. Sorare might be testing... yeah, I bet they are. They're testing late kickoffs like they did with the Champions League. Right, this weekend, I've loosely built some Premier League lineups, and that's it. Look, that's all I've built. 1 La Liga lineup and my Premier League lineups. So I'm thinking João Pedro, even though he's a 70% chance to play, has to play. João Pedro, surely. 3 days, don't think there's a deadline for this. Ooh, nice. There isn't a deadline. That is juicy. That is juicy. So those streaks should be easy to hit. Right, João Pedro has to play, even though 70%. And then I'm going to go with the same Chelsea boys. Cucurella and Caicedo have been a bit quiet lately. They have been a bit off. But it's West Ham at home, and I cannot fully back Chelsea for that. I have to go all out on Chelsea. West Ham at home. So I'm going to play these guys here. I'm going to put Cole Palmer in a strong lineup because he came off the bench and looked good against Napoli. So I'm thinking either comes off the bench again and does well or starts against West Ham. So, and then I'm playing Cunha as captain, Fulham at home. I'm thinking Man United are on a bit of a positive run right now. Cherky's someone I'm uncertain about, but he did get taken off early in the Champions League game and he did score. And I don't have much midfielders. I'm not really blessed with in-season Premier League midfielders. My best ones are Caicedo and Cherky. And then I've got a Gibbs White and a few Brighton boys. But Brighton have a tricky fixture, I think. Or they're just rubbish. Brighton are just rubbish. Sorry, Brian. But yeah, and then Gabriel and then Sanchez in goal. I like this lineup. I think maybe there's some pain here with Palmer. Maybe there's some pain here with Pedro. But I think I have to risk it. If you have all players playing tonight, you can get on a second streak on Saturday, third streak on Sunday. It does make perfect sense, Kerry. I don't have other players playing tonight, though. I would love a full Nottingham Forest stack, but I didn't have any other players playing today. Do I have essence to buy some more cards? We've got nobody playing today in midfield. Nobody play. Chris Wood playing today. No, he's injured. Yeah. The cards aren't looking good for a guy playing today. Could do with like a Gibbs White. Could do with another Nottingham Forest card. Aquas! FUT. Welcome to the chat, Aquas. Good to have you here, mate. Doku is injured, so he should play. Great knowledge. Great knowledge. Good tip. Thanks for the tip, Aquas. That gives me more confidence in playing Cherky. How long's the injury? Because if it's like, I don't like to wish injuries upon anyone, but if it's a long-term injury, that's probably makes a Cherky card holder. That's probably good news for me, is what I'm trying to say. If Doku's out for a while, Cherky should get more games in the next couple of weeks. Right, then I'm going to go for this lineup, which is half Spurs, half Arsenal. So Pedro Porro is injured, which I would like a Pedro. I do like to play Romero and Porro together because I feel like if Spurs keep a clean sheet, you want as many defenders and the goalkeeper as possible. But Porro is no longer first team. He's injured. I think he's injured for 4 weeks, Pedro Porro. So he's not going to be playing for me anytime soon. So it's going to be just Romero and the goalkeeper against Man City at home. Tricky, but Man City may be tired from the Champions League, but then again, Spurs are going to be tired from the Champions League. So there's no hope there. And then I'm also not that confident about Arsenal. I just feel like Arsenal are, they're dropping. Arsenal don't look that good right now. So I used to play Gabriel, Rice, and Saliba in like my first lineup. Now they're in my Division 3 lineup, the Arsenal boys. Trossard and Rice. Trossard didn't play in the Champions League, so even though he's down as a 60% chance to play, didn't play at all in the Champions League, so it makes me think he might play against Leeds. And then Declan Rice, I don't think played in the Champions League as well, so he also is going to be captaining that team. Because if they do well, Declan Rice is probably going to assist a corner. I'm not sure how long it is. I just know he went off in the 37th minute in the Champions League. Don't forget to do your daily missions for Europa League if you have any players. Kerry, what would I do without you? What would I do without you? Pick a player who does 3+ tackles. 3+ tackles. Let's go for Sergio Dominguez, the Zagreb defender. I guess we want to pick defenders for this, so let's go. Where's my Milenkovic? I've got Milenkovic in Classic from this collection. Mariba, defensive midfielder. He might make a tackle. Oh, Thiago Silva, DMP. Okay. Don't get excited about that. Fenerbahce. Semedo could make some tackles. Let's do that. Then we've got a, what's the best prize? I always go by the prizes. What's the best prize? And then I build that one. So I guess Essence would be the next best prize because you can't play the players twice. So for here, we need a player who scores 75 plus points. Let's go. Why are they not playing? Gibbs White and Hudson-Odoi are both on the bench. Well, we're going to have to go for the Zagreb boys then. Oh, he's benched as well. Ugh. Well, there goes my classic lineup with Hoxer as the midfielder. Well, he's playing. Maybe these guys come off the bench. We've not really got many options we can pick from. Why did they not pick the last one? Right, next one. 200 XP for everyone who gets a positive decisive action. We're not down to that many players. I think we've picked everyone who's playing. We'll pick this guy who's on the bench. Maybe he comes off the bench and gets a decisive. Maybe they're DMPs. They're not even on the bench. All right, that's all I can do. Power Victor. Elliot Anderson. Why not? Fill it out. Fill it out. Make it look better. And the last one is pick a player who scores or assists. And this one gives you XP. So, yeah, I'm not bothered about missing on that one. Cheers for the tip, Kerry. Right, Premier League lineups are built. I didn't show you my last one. My last one's a bit of a left field pick. Gakpo and Kirkez. Tricky fixture for Liverpool, but they did just smash someone in the Champions League. Maybe their confidence is high. Garnacho as captain because he didn't play much in the Champions League. So maybe he gets to start against West Ham. Gibbs White, who's not playing for Nottingham Forest. That makes me even more confident that Gibbs White at home to Crystal Palace. That's a great fixture for Gibbs White. Palace are all over the place. Now's the best time to play Crystal Palace. So if you've got Nottingham Forest cards, I would be chucking them in as many lineups as possible. And then Petrovic in goal because he's playing Wolves. So I don't think I need to say much more about that. So those are my Premier League lineups. Let's build La Liga ones. This is the serious La Liga lineup in Division 2. 3 Espanyol cards. They're playing Deportivo Alaves. Now, I am a semi-serious Deportivo Alaves fan because I have a full collection from last season. And I know they've been doing dreadful this year because I've not been able to play my Alaves cards in All-Star much or Champion much. So that makes me confident that Espanyol have a nice fixture here. And it's on a Friday, which I don't really care about. I kind of like sometimes because sometimes if they do well on a Friday, it just gives you more belief on the Saturday that you've only got 2 cards on the weekend to play. These guys aren't playing on Saturday as well. It's going to be a weird one. Oyarzabal has been in great form for Sociedad, scored in his last couple of games. And then Kike Salas, because when you see the second liner back in build, you're going to be like, you've got no one you can pick. So that has to be my first one. My next one is in Division 3, so it's not that bad that it's not a strong lineup. Villarreal are playing Osasuna away. But look how Villarreal have been doing lately. Hobbiton. We're building Hobbiton here. This is terrible. Look how low this is. So I either build a full Villarreal stack and hope they turn their form around, or we could go with a classic goalkeeper and then pick some in-season options outfield. What would they look like? It's annoying because Juan Foyth is injured. Nunez is injured. Nunez was putting up some lovely scores. We were having a lovely old time with Nunez. Now he's injured. Mojica's the only one that's going to be playing, it looks like. So this lineup's going to be nonsense. We could go for an Alaves midfielder to kind of counter the Espanyol lineup in the other one. I think we go for a Villarreal striker. We go for a Villarreal goalkeeper. And then we go for a classic, but not a good classic card, because that we'll probably want to save them. Maybe we go for another Villarreal defender. Mourinho didn't play last game. Hasn't played the last 2 games, but apparently 90% certain to play next game. Do we believe that? But as it's a throwaway lineup, and we would need the Villarreal goalkeeper to do something here, we may as well chuck that together. And I don't know. I'm not feeling this one. I'm not feeling this one. Captain him. Forget it. Don't overthink it. La Liga's been a lot of pain for us this year. I don't even think we're going to make a third one. Well, let's make a third one because it's Division 3. We might as well just do it for building XP, but we're not going to waste our good goalkeepers here. We'll just play players for XP here. Wait, who's this guy? Oh, I crafted this guy lately, but he's not great. Another Espanol card. Yeah, he's not, scores aren't the best, but I crafted. I'm kind of just keeping him because he's young and we're thinking maybe he'll explode at some point and let's captain the non-Villarreal player. That's how little I believe in Villarreal lately. Sorry to any Villarreal fans. Right, we've done Premier League. We've done La Liga. Next league we do is Contender in season for the very first time. Playing Contender in season. All my lineups are going to be in Division 3. So, Schalke are playing Bochum, which is a lovely fixture. Bochum are 11th. Schalke are 1st. So, our Schalke defensive stack comes into play. There we go. Oh, why is he 0%? What? Why is he a 0%? Oh no, something's happened to him. I spent like an okay amount of money on him. Let me have a quick Google of Hassan Kurukai. Let me copy your name, mate. Let's go to... What's happened? What's happened, Hassan? Doesn't say he's injured. This is the problem with chuffing Contender. This is the problem. And now I've not got an option. Now I've not got 5 players to play if he doesn't play. Kerry's emoji exactly. Do I have to get another card? I need a Schalke defender now, don't I? What a joke. I'm going to build the lineup for now with this guy with a 0%, even though we don't know why. And I'm going to have to buy another Schalke defender. Misic, so Zagreb have a nice fixture as well. So I was really looking at this game week when I bought those cards as like, great, next weekend, they're playing a team 9th and Schalke are playing the team 11th. So I was like, this tactic's going to work for next week because I've got nice fixtures. And then I was going to play the Zagreb defender, Dominguez along with. So I was going to have 3 Zagreb players and 2 Schalke players. I either need to buy a Zagreb defender or a Schalke defender, don't I? Because... Or I just don't play... I just play this. We're in Division 3. You know, we can't get relegated. Maybe the 0% is wrong. But I feel like if it was a... If they were like uncertain he was going to play, they would have given him like a 40% chance of playing. 0% tells me he's definitely not playing. Thank you, Manito. Great intel there. Second yellow. Why doesn't it say have the icon with the second yellow? It should say he should have a second yellow card icon here. It usually tells you that when they have a second yellow. Zuta beats it to a second. Paul Jolly for £1. Who's Paul Jolly? I'm thanking you now, Kerry. I'm thanking you now, Kerry. Thanks, Manito and Zuta for jumping in there. Let's have a look at Paul Jolly. This is why these things are better live. So he plays in Bundesliga 2, a lot like Schalke. Scores are okay, but I'm guessing you've suggested him because he has a good fixture this week. Not the best fixture, but he's £1.30. And he peaks now and again. He peaks when he scores or assists. Kerry at the wheel again. I like Kerry's at the wheel again intros. How are you, Kerry? How's your weekend? How's your weekend looking? Paul Jolly's an option. I think this is going to be something I do off stream. I need to have a big look at, because, you know, I could pick someone from a different team, but I kind of am leaning towards going for a Schalke or Zagreb player, because then I can also justify it as it's helping with collection scores, helping with bonuses. Look at his scores from like a year ago. Paul? Mr. Jolly? Where are you? He was coming off the bench a lot last season. Ooh, hello. I think this is what you're talking about. I think you're talking about 2024, where he was playing for Auxerre. And then he was absolutely smashing it. Wow. Well, my concern, though, Kerry, is this was 2 years ago. Has he... But then what's so annoying is if he has a good score this week, you're going to be like, I'm going to be like, I should have picked him. Kerry recommended him. Why didn't I go? Yeah, this is great. This is consistent. Who is he playing for here? Saint Etienne. He's been all over the place. Yeah, no, I see what you're seeing, Kerry. I see what you're seeing. And I suppose a 51 lately, a 60 there. You know, he's on course. Is it a home fixture? Home? Okay. That's gonna be what I'm gonna be doing. It's gonna take a while for me to find someone, I think. So I'll do that off stream because I don't want to waste your precious time. That might take hours. So for now, this is our contender. Oh, I didn't even build it. This is our contender season for now. Captain will probably be Sergi Dominguez. But there will be a different defender there. There will be a different defender here. Hassan, well, I'm quite relieved it's just a suspension, to be honest. So, because then that means he'll be back next week. So, fair play. We needed, this is why we need 1 or 2 more cards with contender in season, because there's going to be weeks where someone's injured, someone's suspended. We're going to need some backup options. So, I'm just having to buy these cards earlier than I would have, but I would have needed to buy more than 4 in-season cards anyway, so fine. We can cheer on Mr. Jolly together then. Yeah, I like his £1.30 as well. And also, I am in Division 3, so I probably don't need the biggest score to get promoted. So, Mr. Jolly, I like his name as well, Mr. Jolly. Oh, you guys are so great. Sergi is a defender. Yes, Manito. I play Sergi in defense, and then I can buy any outfield player. Okay, so it doesn't have to be a defender, which again frees me up massively. I can buy any outfield player and put Sergi in defense. Yep, great shout, Manito. So I won't be looking at just defenders. I'll be looking at, you know, anyone. Anyone scoring well. Right. I'll complete that lineup then when I know Sergi's in defense, and then we find someone else. Maybe one of those Zagreb attackers I was mentioning. Maybe a Schalke attacker. I've only got Schalke defenders and goalkeeper. Could look at an outfield Schalke player, or could go Mr. Jolly still. We'll have a look. We'll have a look. If Forest, West Ham, and Wolves go down, then Marinating will get the most backlash ever. Oh yeah, big time. He might leave. I feel like he's the kind of guy that wouldn't want to own a second division team in England. I just feel like he'll be like, I don't want to own it. I don't want this. I feel like he's only owning Forest so that he can, as a prestige. I told you Leeds would beat Everton, but they drew 1-1. And I told you Leeds would win. No, I told you Everton would win, so we were both wrong. Welcome to the Amreezy channel where the host and the chat are wrong. If you've come here for correct predictions, keep walking. Keep walking. I didn't watch the game, Kerry. I think I was streaming when the game was on or something like that. No. I don't know where I was. I don't know what I missed it. I saw the highlights, but I missed it live. They deserve to win 1-0 leads. Yeah, it did seem like that from the highlights. I'm not confident on Everton at all at the moment. Right, what am I doing? I've built Premier League, La Liga. I've built Contender half. So now we go to our classic leagues, and we always start with Champion. We've got a Division 1 lineup, a Division 2, and 2 Division 3 lineups. So let's go Division 1 first. And let's see what our options are like. We've got Pickford. Well, speaking of Everton not being great lately, like Kerry was just saying, I might need new nicknames. I've got 2 Kerrys in the chat. We might need to say Kerry with a C and Kerry with a K, or Kerry K and Kerry H. Right. Pickford, Brighton away. Are you going to be dabbling in any of the new arenas this weekend? I've not had a look at the arenas. I've not really, because I've not enjoyed arenas so far. I didn't get that excited when we saw new arenas, but let me take a quick look at how arenas look. What's different about arenas now? I can play for 250 essence, which was what it was before. They've split the arenas into leagues, so you can play Premier League arena. Probably not. I'm probably not going to be playing the arenas because I'm not certain they're that different. And I don't have a lot of goalkeepers going. So I think I'll probably just stick with Pro. But if I see everyone else having fun with arenas, what's the prize pool on arenas? What is the prize pool on arenas? 1,000. This is the problem. Like, you pay 300 essence to enter. And if you don't win it and you finish third, you've only made 200. If West Ham go down, their 14-year-old stays over. Nuno, yeah, Nuno's definitely going. If West Ham look like they're about to get relegated, I think Nuno will probably go before the end of the season. I can see them sacking him in like March. Yeah, that's crazy. It's crazy what Forest are doing this year. How the mighty have fallen. There's a cap 220 as well, which may help some players out of your bad. Yeah, I like the idea of a cap 220. Predicting Wolves and West Ham to go is expected. Yeah. Although I wouldn't have predicted West Ham at the beginning of the season when they had like the new manager. I was thinking when they got Nuno, I was like, okay, that means they'll stay up. And when Nuno arrived, I was like, they'll be okay. But it's not quite worked out, has it? Right, where's this cap 20 mode? It's only 100 essence to enter the capped one. But then you only win 500 essence. I just don't think it's worth it. Because if you don't come first or if you don't come in the top 3, you know, I've done a few essences this season, a few arenas this season. And every time I think I've got a good arena team, the other people have got better teams or someone lets you down. Like, I don't know. Do you guys play arena much? Are you guys going to be playing arena? Get a Pablo card when he starts scoring. Pablo who, Manito? Who is this Pablo? Yes, Kerry, I have X. The artist formerly known as Twitter. I'm Amreezy7 on X. The artist formerly known as Twitter. I'm on Instagram as Amreezy. Maybe just Amreezy. I'm either Amreezy or Amreezy7 on Twitch, YouTube, X, Instagram, TikTok, but I don't really use TikTok. Yeah, that'd be great. That would be great if you know, I don't think it's happened in so many years. It would be great for the league, I think. Right, what are we doing here? Champion. Where were we? Champion. Can we have a good Division 1 lineup? So, Pickford, away at Brighton. Pena, home to Barcelona. No, we're not going Elche at Barcelona. Crystal Palace, we're not touching. Atletico Madrid, we're not touching. Monaco playing Rennes at home. That's the only home fixture I have. But Monaco are doing terrible at the moment. And Rennes are 6th. I guess we got to go Pickford. Away at Brighton. Maybe makes a lot of saves. And then I quite like going for a Chelsea stack. I don't know if this is just the Chelsea fan in me, but I'm very optimistic about Chelsea right now. I like how the managers... I like how we're looking. And just beating Napoli, surely confidence is going to be up after the Napoli game. So I'm quite inclined to go for a full Chelsea stack here. We've not got a Chelsea forward unless Liam Delap plays. But Liam Delap is 30% chance to play. I'm just thinking Rossignol is cooking. Kerry's right. I just like his energy. There's something about him which gives me not confidence that he's going to last ages, but I just think he's going to give Chelsea... Do you know what it reminds me of? Chelsea right now remind me of Chelsea when they won the Champions League both times. When Chelsea won the Champions League with Tommy Tuchel, the Napoli performance just showed me that they may be inconsistent in the league. They may be inconsistent in games against teams like West Ham where they're supposed to win. But in big games, Chelsea have got a bit of big game spirit about them. João Pedro loves a big game. They won the Club World Cup. Against PSG, that was a big game. You know, they've still got that big game mentality. So I could see Chelsea doing well in the Champions League this year. It reminds me of when Di Matteo took over at Chelsea when they were doing okay in the league, but then he did well in the Champions League, and there were games like Napoli and Chelsea's against when Di Matteo was the manager. They had a big game against Napoli where Branislav Ivanovic scored the winner. And it was, that performance against Napoli gave me a lot of confidence. So I'm all in Chelsea. Liam Delap might play, He was rested in the Champions League, and João Pedro's played the last 2 games in a row. I could see Liam Delap play this, but I wouldn't put him in a Division 1 lineup. Is he under 23? He could be good for an under 23 lineup. How old is Liam Delap? He is 22. Liam Delap in your under 23 lineups, ladies and gentlemen. That's my tip. And then Rafinha is playing Elche away. Atletico Madrid are playing Levante away. Cunha. Here we go, Cunha. I'm all in on Cunha this week. Cunha in my Division 1 Classic, my Division 1 or in-season and winter set. Ivanovic was such an underrated player, yeah. Not by Chelsea fans. Chelsea fans worship him. He's been our best right back for a while. I mean, I suppose Azpilicueta was also a solid right back. We've had a few good right backs over the years. Now got Reece James. But big sampled of the biggest surprise of the 2020-21 season when West Brom went to start. Oh, God, yeah, I remember that. I went to win. Yeah, Sam Allardyce was a bit of a bogey manager, I feel like, for Chelsea. I seem to remember his Bolton team upsetting Chelsea a few times as well. Okay, I don't know why Cunha is 70%. Cunha's playing. Dorgu's injured. Cunha's just scored against Man City and assisted against Man City, scored against Arsenal. Cunha is playing, mate. Kerry's leaving the wheel. Thanks for joining us, Kerry. Safe driving as you leave the wheel. Mario Melchiot. Now we are talking Chelsea right backs. Albert Ferrer. Mario Melchiot. Victor Moses when Antonio Conte was manager. Dan Petrescu, if some of you are old like me, Dan Petrescu was like the first right back I remember. See you next time, Kerry. If you're only going to be interested in the Sorare streams, Monday and Thursday for Sorare streams. If you like MFL, Tuesday and Wednesday for MFL streams. Thanks for popping in, Kerry. Appreciate it. I'm just thinking of Chelsea right backs now. They're the one. They're the main ones. They're the main ones. Chelsea right backs. Petrescu was good, yeah. My first international football tournament that I remember as a football fan consciously watching was Euro 96, held in England. And, it was my first big international tournament as a kid. I must have been about 6 or 7. And Dan Petrescu was playing for Romania. And I remember all of the Romania team dyed their hair blonde, bleach blonde. And I still remember the camera panning across all of the Romania team and they all had blonde hair. And I knew Petrescu as a Chelsea fan. Like, I knew like Petrescu, and it was like the first tournament where I was like, oh, cool. A guy that I watch for my club team plays in for a random country that I don't know anything about, like Romania. And it was like my football knowledge started developing around then. So yeah, Dan Petrescu has a very special place in my heart for those reasons. And he now manages in Korea. Yeah, that's gonna be my K. That's my K team. No, Mike, that's not my K team. I don't know. Hoodwink knows who my K team is. I think my K team is the one that Gustavo Poyet manages. I don't know if Petrescu manages a different team, or if Poyet took over from Petrescu. My K League knowledge is terrible, but I know that there's a bit of a Chelsea ex-managers thing there, which is what's drawing me to the K League. So yeah, I'm debating playing K League in season when that new K League. Boularus, Khalid Boularus. Yes, Zootert. He did play some games at right back. Did he play in the Eredivisie as well? Which Dutch team did he play for? Was it PSV? I can see him in red and white, but then again, that doesn't help with the Eredivisie because that could be Ajax, PSV, Feyenoord. But I feel like he was at one of the big boys in the Eredivisie. Just before I leave, I'm going to say if Spurs go down, fingers crossed, it will be like Leicester going down in 2023-23. Yeah. Although Leicester had won the Premier League more recently. Spurs haven't won the Premier League in, I don't know, 50, 60 years? When did Spurs last win the league? Years ago. I was going to say, when did Spurs last win a trophy? Because that used to be a fun little dig we could take at them. But now that Spurs won the trophy last year, we can't say that anymore. Feyenoord, I believe, at the end of his career. Okay. Fair play. Fair play. Boularus wore a strange squad number at Chelsea. Like 10 or 7 or 9. He wore a weird shirt number. I'm going to have to Google it. I'm going to have to Google Khalid Boularus' squad number at Chelsea because that's annoying me right now. I'm obsessed with squad numbers. I love it. I love a squad number. Khalid Boularus. It was 9. He wore number 9 at Chelsea as a right back. The kit man gave it him as a joke. Zuta, spot on, number 9. The kit man gave him as a joke, and then he kept it. Okay. The tangents we go on, guys. We love it. Don't worry, Zuta. You shout away. It was worthy of shouting. It needed to be shouted. I think we go Rafinha here. I think we go Rafinha instead of Cunha. And then we could go for a Barcelona double up. I just like the idea. I do like the idea of Cunha, but I just like the idea of Barcelona knowing that these guys are going to be playing because Rafinha is in great form, so he should play. And then De Jong didn't play in the Champions League. De Jong was rested in the Champions League, which makes me think he's going to be playing this game. And if he's playing, it's a nice fixture. Barcelona are top of the league, I think. Second in the league. Azpilicueta, yeah. I think I did say that one, but... right backs for Chelsea. Yeah, Victor Moses was one of the weirdest ones because he was like a winger. He was an attacking winger. And then Antonio Conte turns up and it's like, you know what? You're a right back. And then we're going to captain Rafinha. Cunha will captain the second lineup. I just don't like Cunha captaining my Division 1 lineup. And the Barcelona connection just felt too good to ignore. Let's build an all-star lineup. Have we got Mexican football back? Is Mexican football back this weekend? We've got a Division 1 all-star lineup to build. It would be good if Mexican football was back. It is back. Viva Mexico! Okay. Tigres are playing Leon. That's a nice fixture. Leon aren't great. Yeah, Tigres stack incoming. Tigres Division 1 all-star stack incoming. We don't have any Tigres defenders. That's the problem now, because the two that we had last season, these two were first team. Last season, Parata was playing at centre back and Gulo was playing at right back. This season, we're not having any luck. He's playing. I don't know why he's a 0%, but his scores are terrible. So we're not going to go anywhere near Tigres defenders. We are, of course, going to play Juan Brunetta. We are, of course, going to play Angel Correa, although his scores haven't been great lately. Oh, Kerry, how did I forget Jose Bosingua? And then that's just reminded me of Paulo Ferreira, because I believe yep, Kerry, I've just answered it. Paulo Ferreira was the right back that Bosingua replaced, because I remember a bit of controversy where it was like Paulo Ferreira had to be shifted to left back so that Bosingua could fit at right back, because Bosingua was Mourinho's boy from Porto. Well, I think they were both Mourinho's boys from Porto. Yeah. I like this. I think every Sorare stream, we should pick a random team, like a big team that we all know, and a random position, like right back, left back, striker, or whatever. Maybe we could always do right back. We pick a different team next week. We'll go Liverpool or like Newcastle. We'll pick a different team and we'll just name right backs that we can remember. Because it's sending me down memory lane. This has been fun. Chelsea right backs. Surely we've mentioned them all now with Paulo Ferreira and Bosingua. And we're not going to go any further than Dan Petrescu, because I wasn't watching football or born before Dan Petrescu. So they've got to be since then. Okay, All-Star. Correa's been a bit off lately. But I can't not pick him, because I can't pick my Tigres boys and then not pick Correa. We just need him to get back to form. What's Diego Lainez doing these days? Lainez. Hit and miss, really. Hit and miss. Not the best scores. I might not put all my Tigres boys in one lineup this week, because Lainez hasn't been that great. And then Gorian also hasn't been that great. I mean, I like the idea of having a Tigres lineup, but I don't think I can justify putting him in my Division 1 lineup. What's Thiago Silva saying? Who's he playing? Oh, he's playing Casa Pia. Thiago Silva is playing a whole house. Casa in Spanish is house. But if anyone can single-handedly destroy a house, it would be Thiago Silva. And he's not playing in the Europa League against Rangers today, which makes me think it'll be nice and fresh for this league game against the team 16th. It's a no-brainer. Thiago Silva's got to play. And then Santiago Nunez, who I built... Oh, look at these scores. He's scoring goals now. Santiago Nunez. He was just putting up big scores before. A couple of assists. Now he's a goal threat for Estudiantes de La Plata. He's got to be in the team. He's got to be captain. And then it's got to be either Thiago Silva, Kufal. Nah, that's not a nice fixture. Nah, you never back Barcelona's defense in the Division 1 lineup. Unless you've got Kubrasi or even that. Just Kubrasi. I think if you've got any other defender like Garcia and Koundé, they're not keeping a clean sheet. They will now that I've said that. But, yeah. Cruz Azul are playing Juarez. And as you can see, Plavecino loves a big score. I've got quite a lot of Cruz Azul players because all of my Necaxa cards that were decent, like Plavecino and Paradella, have moved to Cruz Azul. All of my Atlas cards that were decent, like Marquez, have moved to Cruz Azul. So I'm becoming a Cruz Azul fan, whether I like it or not. Paradella, another Cruz Azul player now, scored in his last two, but then he was doing rubbish before that. Whereas Plavecino has been a bit more consistent, but his peaks aren't as high as Paradella's peaks. But he's more consistent. We've got to go him. And then we could put them both. We could pick both of the Cruz Azul players, Paradella and... But then if we're going double up on Cruz Azul, it makes me think we should also pick the defender from Cruz Azul, Piovi. What's he been doing lately? couple of good scores lately. Or maybe I should put all 3 of the Cruz Azul players in, all 4 actually. I've got Marquez as well. Maybe I should put 4 Cruz Azul cards in the same lineup. No, Marquez isn't a first team regular yet. He came off the bench last game, so I don't feel confident playing him. I think I'll just play the 2 attackers in this one then. Or we could play a champion card. Maybe we play the Cunha here. Or Julian Alvarez here. Julian Alvarez, because he's playing 19th in the table, Levante. Captain Santiago Nunez in defense. That's a solid lineup. Solid as a rock. Now, I kept 2 Cruz Azul players aside. I did that on purpose so that I can try and hit the team bonus in the second lineup. Because this one, I've put 3 Tigres players, so I've lost the whatever it's called, the bonus. So in this lineup, I'll be a bit more conscious of the bonus. So I'll play Piovi and Paradella, who are from the same team. I'll then play 2 Tigres players that I didn't play in the other lineup. Oh, wait, I've got another Brunetta card. No Paulinho card. No, Benito, I've not got a Paulinho. Should I get a Paulinho? Do you think it's worth it? I've debated it at times, but I don't have a Paulinho card. After I've built this lineup, I'll go check how much he is. I don't really buy classic cards anymore. I buy in-season cards that I plan on using in future seasons in Classic. I don't usually buy a classic card. Haven't bought a classic card for a while, apart from those K-League cards I bought, but that's for in-season. So, but you know, if your scores are big enough and the price is cheap enough, you know, I don't mind picking up the occasional classic. I better start doing my lineups for All-Star soon. Yes, Kerry, you get on it. Get on it. Although you're in the UK, right, Kerry? You've got till tomorrow. I don't have till tomorrow. I have to do all my lineups today because the deadline's at like 7 in the morning for me, or 8 in the morning for me, which sometimes I make. But to be safe, I've got to make my lineups the night before, which is today. Right. We're thinking of putting 2 Tigres players in this lineup. So we'll go for Brunetta and Lainez. It's either Lainez or Gorian. Who's got the best recent form? Gorian's got the L50, the L5 of 54. Lainez has got the 55. He's got a better L15, but you know, in these instances, I don't really look at the L15. I like to look at the L5 because you know we're looking at recent form. We don't really care how they were doing 15 games ago. Gorian or Lainez? It's a coin toss. Who's been substituted lately? Gorian's last 3 have been terrible. Lainez at least has a green score in his last 3. I think Lainez is the one we got to go for. But he was off the bench in these 2 games. Maybe that means he's fresher. Lainez is the one. Gorian will go in my other All-Star lineup. We will find a home for you, Gorian. Yeah, I do see him popping up on the scorings. And also, the problem is as well, like, I've got Tigres fully backed. I've got Necaxa kind of backed. I've got Atlas not really backed anymore. So Tigres and Cruz Azul are my... and Santos, I've got them fully backed. So I kind of like think if I went for a Toluca striker, I wouldn't have any other Toluca players. But, you know, I do think... I'll go and have a look how much it costs after this lineup. Tommy! Don't worry, Tommy. You're not as late as you were last week. You're not as late as... I've still got plenty of lineups to build, Tommy. This is going to be a long one, this video. We've still got, I think, a few minutes left in the tank. So, thanks for joining us, Tommy. Better late than never. I appreciate you as always. There's a small chance you can go to the World Cup. Manito, are you convincing me? Am I being convinced right now to go and get a classic Paulinho? I think I am. The World Cup is a lovely addition. Alan St. Maximan is a card that I really want to work. He plays in Mexico, a league I love. He's an exciting player. But look at his scores. And he was benched last game. And his scores lately have been dog dirt, bum rubbish. He's got it in him when he gets a decisive to peak. He can get you a good score if he scores. but I don't think we can put him in a decent lineup and feel confident about it. Jared Bowen against Chelsea. Now that is... I could cover my emotional bases here. Very true. I could cover my emotional bases here and play Jared Bowen in the kind of, if he scores, at least I'm happy for Sorare. Juka at Atlas. Oh, Mazatlan are rubbish. Sorry, Mazatlan fans. Don't know how many Mazatlan fans watch my videos. Beautiful part of the world, by the way. If you live in the US and you want a Mexican holiday and you don't want to go to Cancun, have a look at Mazatlan. Nice little beach. Actually, don't go to Mazatlan because there's also Cabos. But Mazatlan's nice. Mazatlan's nice. Jeez, Amreezy, you're gonna get sued by the Amreezy, the Mazatlan Tourism Board. Hunduzi's in the chat. Welcome, Hunduzi. How are you, mate? Did you have any joy in midweek, Sorare? Did you win anything? Have you got actually? Forget midweek. I don't think you're. No offense. I don't think Champions League's where we want to go to Hunduzi for questions. But Europa League. Have you got a playing lineup for Crystal Palace players? Are you going to win big in the Europa League again today, Hunduzi? Let us know. We need a striker for this all-star lineup. And I don't like the idea of many of them. Cambindo plays for... He's moved to Leon. All of my Necaxa cards have left and play for other teams. But Cambindo scored last week. Oh, also Gonzalo Guedes. I think, you know what we're going to do? You know what we're going to do? We might go Juka against Mazatlan. Easy fixture. He scores now and again. So we're going to go for Atlas. Oh, Hunduzi's got a good side tonight. No Palace, but we've got some other players playing. Hello. Right, we need a defender for this one. We need a defender. Can we team up an Atlas defender? Do I have an Atlas defender? I used to have Doria, but he's left Doria, and he's gone to play in Brazil, I think, now. Doria's not playing. Doria, can't play Doria. Doria, by the way, liked an Instagram story of mine, so we're best friends. Me and Doria, we're best friends. Right, we need a defender. Stop getting distracted, Amreezy. Let's go for Vladimir Kufal. Why not? It's a bit of a tricky fixture. Union Berlin. Not the easiest, but it's at home. And he's been putting up a few 60s lately. If he gets a goal involvement, we're laughing. And in goal, we're going to play... Oh, we've got lots of options. We better not waste our champion goalkeepers because we still need to build some champion lineups. Santos are playing Pumas. Atlas are playing... Let's go for 2 Atlas players. So we've got the Atlas goalkeeper, Atlas striker, 2 Tigres, 2 Cruz Azul. We're hitting the multi-club bonus. It's a shame we're only just above the cap bonus. I wonder if we can take out Kufal, because he's a bit of an oddball in this lineup. He could go in our a good all-star lineup. I wonder if we can pick a defender with a score of 50. Oh my god, 53. I shouldn't be that bad at maths. 53 L15. Is it L15 or L5? I think it's the L15. So, have we got a 53 L15 defender? Soleil. Soleil at home to Roma. Roma are having a good season, aren't they? Roma are on fire. But he's back to his good form, Soleil. He had a big dip here. Well, I didn't like that. I didn't like his scores lately. But I had a word with him and I went, listen, Soleil. Earlier in the season, look at these scores. Brilliant scores. And that's not that long ago. That's not that long ago, Soleil. Look, this is not that long ago when Soleil was building not quite New York City skyline, but Manchester skyline. Then he went off. Then he started building a Birmingham skyline. Then he started building Manchester skyline again. Then he went and started building Hobbiton recently. Now he's back to building who knows. Who knows what's coming, but he's going in this lineup. Oh, Soleil. What? Oh, put him in the wrong place. All that build up. Who was the other defender I had? Oh, yeah. Cruz Azul, but I need the Cruz Azul player to go here because I've got OCD, and he has to be next to the other Cruz Azul player. And then Soleil can go in that one. Captain Brunetta again? Juka. Because if this lineup's going to do anything, we're going to need our striker to score. So we may as well captain Big Juka. It's a risky call, but what's my middle name? Risky. Risky Reezy. That's what the R in Amreezy stands for. Risky. Risky Easy. Scratch that. Bench destroys both. Oh, Handoozy. It was so short-lived. Tommy's confirming it's L15. Cheers, Tommy. Look at this lineup. It's 369. It's one under the cap. So we're hitting both our caps here. Only thing I'm uncertain about is who to captain, because Juka is a nice option, but he's 70% chance of playing, which just puts me off a bit. Do we go for Paradella, who's got an away game? Or do we go for... They've all got away fixtures, apart from Mazatlan. Oh, do we go for Soleil? Big call. That's a tricky fixture. Roma are third. They're changing it from L10 from mid-February. Oh. Thanks for telling me that, Tommy. I would have had no idea. But why? It's working. Man's building. Amen. Who do I captain? You know what? Brunetta again. Brunetta, and I'll take the captaincy off Brunetta in the other lineup. Wait, I didn't put the captaincy on Brunetta in the other lineup. This is perfect. That's perfect. That's perfect. Right, we've got our 2 all-star lineups built. That took me longer than I thought it would. Let's go back to champion and build our second champion lineup. In goal, we've got nobody. We've got a ring wraith from Lord of the Rings. I have mentioned Lord of the Rings like 4 times today. Shout out to Aragorn if you're watching. Shout out to Legolas and his bow skills. Okay, our options in goal are Peña, Barcelona away. Crystal Palace at home. No, wait, he is the Crystal Palace goalkeeper. Nottingham Forest away for Dean. Is Dean Henderson playing today or has he been rested? He is. Drum roll, please. Not playing today, of course. Crystal Palace, Nottingham Forest. That could go either way. I'm leaning on Forest though, because Palace have been bum rubbish lately. So I'm not feeling Henderson. Severa, Atletico Madrid. I wish Atletico Madrid goalkeeper. Alaves goalkeeper. He's playing Espanyol. Tricky fixture, but look what he did in his last game. 69 dudes. So he's got good scores in his last 2 games. They were against Atletico Madrid and Betis. So I think we're going to go for Alaves. Why are you going to do that, Amreezy? Because I've got loads of Alaves players, and it means I can put a load of them in the team. Let's build an Alaves like nucleus in this team. Tengalia in defense. You know what? Forget everything I said. I'm not going to build any Alaves cards. Just realize this is Division 2. We've got good options. We've got Vladimir Kufal to play. We've got Jules Koundé from Barcelona to play. We've got Elliot Anderson to play. Even though, no, because I fancy Forest. Have I got any other Forest cards? Because I just fancy Forest beating Palace. Do you know what the problem is? I've traded all of my Forest cards away. Palace aren't playing. Well, they are in my defense, it's probably been about 12 times I've said it, not 100. But all right. The gifts are speaking for me. Okay, we're not going to play any more Forest cards. Just Elliot Anderson. Maybe goalkeeper. Where did I put my Matt Sells? Oh, I sold him. I got rid of all my Forest cards. In my head, I have a complete Forest collection from last season. In reality, I have Elliot Anderson and like a few bench players. Okay, here we go, guys. Who are we putting in midfield alongside these legends? I think I might sell my Brighton cards. Or do I give them one? Because Everton aren't in the best of form. Also, I'm building up a bit of XP on the Brighton cards. Maybe a Mitoma. Up front, Cunha's definitely in this lineup. I've been putting Cunha down and down and down. He's got to be in one of the lineups. James Garner. Look at James Garner's scores lately. Look at what James Garner is doing for Big David Moyes. 63 is the lowest score in the last couple of games. Even before then, solid 50s. So it's James Garner season, everyone. And then the one extra card. This is a very scattered lineup. Everyone plays for a different team. So I'd like to have like one player from the same team as someone else. So it's got to be an Everton player or a Barcelona player. Did we play Frankie de Jong? Have I used my Frankie de Jong? Yes. Ferran Torres might be back for this game. Hello. Ooh, I'm torn between Torres or Eric Garcia. Because I've got Koundé. We could double up on the Barcelona defense. Or we gamble that Torres either comes off the... I think he's going to be benched again, right? Because he was injured. And he's not been scoring well lately. But then before then, when he scores, he's... Garcia or Torres? Who do we go for? I think it's Garcia. Just because his last scores have been better. And we've got Koundé, so we're doubling up on the Barcelona defense. And because I've got OCD, I'm going to have to play the Barcelona defender with the other Barcelona defender in his spot. And then play Torres. And then play Kufal as the kind of extra card there. Captain Cunha. Confirm. Right. They are our serious lineups done. We still need to do another 2 All-Star and another 2 Champion. But they're Division 3 ones, so we can have a bit of fun with these ones. We can take a bit of a risk here. We're having a bit of a risk. We might go. Here we go. Speaking of Crystal Palace, are they playing today, by the way? Let's build a complete Crystal Palace team. As much as we can, not complete. Because I backed Forest in a few lineups, thinking they're going to beat Palace. But maybe Palace are going to get their act together finally. And give Forest a good game. So let's go with LaCroix and... Mitchell or Richards? Mitchell's not having fun lately, is he? What's happened to Tyreek Mitchell? Come on, Tyreek. Whereas Richards was out of the team for a bit. Back in with, oh yeah, obviously Richards. Obviously Richards. Midfield. Do we have Adam Wharton knocking around? Or have I used him somewhere else? He's injured. He's suspended. Ah, you're joking. Palace are going to get battered. If Adam Wharton's not in the team, they're going to get overrun in midfield. I don't have any other Palace midfielders. All right. It's not going to be that heavy of a Palace team. I suppose we could play Mateta. Mateta's been useless lately as well, but this is a gamble lineup. So we're going to gamble that Mateta scores. Because when he scores, he does okay. If he doesn't get a goal involvement, he's not going to score well. He only gives you a good score when he scores or assists. Otherwise, it's a bad score. But that's what we're taking the risk on. We're taking the risk he can score against an average Nottingham Forest defence. And then we're going to play Sarr as the extra card. Because I can't decide which one to play up front. So I'm going to play them both. This is the last lineup I'm building, guys. Because I've got to... It's been an hour and 45 minutes. I've got to go and scout the market for a contender in-season card. I've got to scout... who have I got to scout? The all-star striker from Thingy-Majiggy. So, last lineup I'm building, and then I'll fill out the rest myself when I've worked out what cards I've got. So, Monaco are playing Rennes. Larson. I traded my Larson away, Hunduzi. Don't think I have him anymore. Yeah, Larsen's gone. Palace have been woeful lately, but then so have Forest. So my thinking with this strategy is like, no one's going to build this lineup. No one else is going to be building Crystal Palace lineups. So that's me on a bit of a differential. I'm not building a full lineup. They're going to have 2 odd players. And it's a Division 3 lineup. Like, you know what? This is bad thinking. This is bad thinking. I might have better cards. I've got Reece James to play, guys. I've got Balde. But I've got another lineup to build as well. Another Division 3 lineup. So I figured maybe Palace get their act together. And if they do, I'm there. Because I've started building the lineup now, I have to make it. Because if I don't, and Palace win, like 4-0, I'm going to be so angry that I was building the lineup and then stopped. So it might be stupid, but we've got to stick with the Palace boys, I'm afraid. At least in one of the lineups. Who should we put with them? We've got a few Monaco boys left. We've got a Kaminsky. He's got a nice fixture. Nah, that's not a nice fixture. That's not a nice fixture, is it? Mid-table. Fermin Lopez. Let's put him in there. We need another midfielder. Pepelou's been doing all right at Valencia. Pepelou. Yeah, he's been doing all right. Betis is a bit of a tricky fixture. But... you know, he could do it. He could do the business. I don't know why I'm drawn to Mitoma. I think because he's got a good fixture. And I kind of want to just... have I got Munoz? I don't. I don't have a Munoz. I used to, but I got rid of it. It was actually a really good deal. When he was start of the season, he hit a good run of form. I sold him, and then he got injured. So I need to get another one, actually. I need to get another one from that Crystal Palace collection. Wait, I've not used Phil Foden yet. Oh, here we go. Phil Foden, because he might not start, Phil Foden. If he does, here he is. And we'll captain Foden. Because, you know, if he's either going to get me a low score or a high score. I feel like the Crystal Palace boys might... how do you pick from the Palace boys? So I feel like it's easy to captain either Foden or Lopez. Maybe Lopez is a better captaincy choice. Let me edit it, so rare. I'm clicking it. You know what? I'm feeling Mateta. I don't know why I'm feeling Mateta goal. Look, we need a Mateta goal for that lineup to work. So we may as well captain him, because if he scores, then we've got the captaincy on Mateta. No logic. Don't listen to me, guys. Not financial advice. I am going to go and scout the market right now for that striker who plays in Mexico. The the Munoz card that I maybe could add. So maybe some of these lineups will change. I still need to make one more all-star lineup, but I don't want to build that lineup until I've gone through the market and seen if I want to buy any more cards. So I'm going to have a little scout. I definitely need to buy a contender in-season card. So yeah, my lineups may change, but those are the serious ones. I also need to build all my common lineups for Winter Essence or whatever I'm winning these days. What am I winning in common? Do they give you Winter Essence or do they give you regular bog standard bomb rubbish essence? Should give you Winter Essence in this one, at least while the winter set competition's on. Because what's the point in even getting excited? We don't even know. If you've not seen the beginning of the video, tune in where I rant about the change in essence cards lately. 1 hour 48, guys. We are rocking and rolling with these Sorare streams. Thank you, Hernduzi, both of the carries, Tommy, Manito, Zootert, anyone else who chatted before, who was in the chat earlier on in the stream. Thank you for joining me, guys. Thank you for your tips. I feel like I've had some really good, useful tips this week. L15's changing, essence rules, a couple of recommendations, you know, keep it coming. And if you're watching this video not live and you've got other recommendations, I'm always willing to hear it. Don't be offended if I don't buy the player, but I will scout them thoroughly. I will take your recommendations on board. So let me know if you've got anyone, especially contender in season. Doesn't have to be a defender anymore, thanks to Manito's advice earlier. Any position. contender in season, nice and cheap, just so I can fill in a missing hole this week. Otherwise, I'll see you on Monday for another Sorare Road to Sorare Boss stream. If you like MFL, Tuesday, Wednesday MFL. I'm doing 4 streams a week now. Your boy's tired. This is a third. I'm feeling it now. This is my first week doing 4 streams a week, and this is the last stream of the week, and I'm like, oh, bloody hell. Bloody hell, Amreezy. But I feel like I'll get used to it. I'll get used to the rhythm of doing 4 streams a week. Every day, 6:30 UK time. Other time zones are available, as Zuta very kindly let us know earlier in the stream. Right, guys, I'm going to stop rambling. I'm going off. Good luck with your game weeks, guys. Let me know any successes on the socials. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Peace. Have a good day.